Welcome everyone, Tier 3, Season 11, Round 14, the finale, last race of the season for Tier 3. Not sure why Bobo has Inters selected. Yeah, that's against the rules, Bobo. You are on Inters on a dry track. That is not allowed. If you can hear me, I would seriously suggest coming into the pits at the end of this lap. Yeah, if I could get a weather forecast off of people and let me know if the game volume is okay, as opposed to my mic, whatever. I might just silence myself for a second, see what I think, but let me know if the volume is okay. Yeah, I think that game volume is a bit low, if I'm honest. So I will change that up one. And let me know what the story is. Wrong Tim asking, is there something to play for the last race? Yeah, there is. There's a championship to play for. Tier 1 and 2 were finished Friday night. Constructors was won by V-Carb, Red Bulls, RBs, Baby Bulls, whatever you want to call them. That was won after Friday. What's up for grabs tonight is the championship. So it's in Bobo's hands. He is currently 15 points clear. P5 or better, no matter what Captain Nibs does, gives the championship to Bobo. Even if they're level, he takes it on most race wins of 5 compared to Nibs' 4. So, yeah, P5 or better. Captain Nibs, all he can do is win the race and see what happens after that. But yeah, 11 points is what Bobo needs to take the title. Yeah, I'll keep you updated as the race progresses. Bobo was listening to me. He's a good boy. Let's have a look and see. Marshall is in the pits. We'll stick on with North Pack, see what he can do. He's on a lap. Windy sector 1. Quite difficult in this game. The curbs are absolutely hideous at best. Very slippy. Wouldn't want to stay on him. You can kind of take a curb if it's straight anyway, not straight, and the rear is trying to come around to meet the face all the time. Absolutely horrendous. Go on, see what it looks like. Difficult little hairpin actually, so easy to break yourself. Brake too early, you lose too much time, but that seems to be nicely done. Over to the left hand side of the track, back to the right hand side for Spoon, I believe. I'm not sure actually, yeah. Is this Spoon? Is this one Spoon? Or is it all Spoon? I don't know. I'm going to say it's all Spoon for entertainment purposes, and I don't know, so it is what it is. Full time Dave. Quickest lap so far, 130.597. As Northpack approaches 130R. Nicely done. Difficult braking zone again. Down to second, takes a bit of curb on the right, bit of curb on the left. Tries to get the power down and heads for the line. Let's see what he can do. That is a 130.6 from Northpack. Captain Nibs is in the pits as well. Anyone else on a lap? Oliver Ritchie is on a lap. He's just about to head across the line. Let's see what he can do. That's the quickest time so far. It's a 129.3. Who else is Scotty on a lap? He is. He's heading for the line as well to set his first time, which is a 30.2. Puts him up to P4. Also on a lap, heading towards 130R. Not 100% sure of the sector split times here. I'm not the representative lap or a good lap or a bad lap, but yeah, it is what it is. He has been validated anyway, which is positive. Nice and tight to the barrier. Let's see what he can do. Crosses the line for a 130.7. Everybody else is either on the pits or on an out lap. So let me try and figure out who is next. I don't know who's next, but either way, I'm going to stick on with Captain Nibs. and see what he can do on his first run. Gone straight to the softs, not bothering with the mediums, which is surprising and isn't surprising. Probably a bit of a technical decision or a tactical decision. He needs a good qualifying session. He needs to get to Q3 and he needs to challenge. So bank a lap on the softs. Don't go back out again. No risks. Get through. Important, especially with a track like this. Overtaking can be difficult. One DRS zone only. Handful of places where you can overtake, but it's hard. So good qualifying is definitely needed from Captain Nibs. Bobo, you are 100% welcome. Yeah, we don't allow winters on a dry track. Within reason. Obviously, if it's going to start raining, it's fine. But yeah, we don't allow it. It is quite dark though. If anybody can give me a possible weather forecast is wrong, Tim. How many points does Osso need? Too many, Tim. He needs too many. So yeah. 20% chance of rain, so that's probably dry, to be fair. I'm going to just go into the driver's point of view to see that sky. It's quite dark, bits of grey, but it's bright, so track temps will be down, the track will definitely be slippy, and there is a lack of grip in places here, so let's see what Captain Nibs can do. Just starting sector 3, looks pretty quick. It's a purple sector, but it's his own purple sector as he doesn't have a time set yet. Or flashing fuel light. Powers towards the line. Let's see what he can do. Is it a 29? Is it a 28? Is it a 30? It's a 29.4 from Captain Nibs. Puts him P2 at the minute. Who else? Marshall just came across to the 130 on the mediums. That's a good time from him. Stick on with Gainful, see what he can do. Sector 1. Look, there's always next season. I know we say that all the time, but next season's your season. Probably not, but maybe. Who knows? As Gainful, bit of a lock up there from Gainful as he heads towards the back straight. Very wide on the exit there. And there's another Ferrari of Curly who is on the lap as well, but shouldn't be affected too much as he's munching grass for some reason. Let's see what Gainful can do. Heavy braking zone here, running no ABS can be difficult. Powers towards the line. Let's see what Gainful can do, and it's a 1:30.4. Curly being next to cross, and Curly with a 1:30.1. Nice time from Curly. Is Anderson's in the pits, Bobo invalidated. So yeah, tricky session so far from Bobo. Doesn't have a time on the board. Went out on the inters. We don't allow it. Be fair till we came back in, so there will be no further issue with that. He's invalidated, or has he just not started his run yet? No, he has. He's 60% battery, so he's going to have to come back in. And I would think, unless he's going, no, he's going for a lap. Thinks he has enough battery. I don't think he does. That's not a good place to be at all, unless he reckons he still has the pace to get through on this set. He could probably have enough time to get in and out again, so we'll stick on and see what he can do. Running the medium as well with no battery and his fuel light is on, so it's going to be a slow in lap as well if he can get to the end of the lap at all. Unless he's using it as a practice lap, I'm not sure. We'll come back to him in a second. Jump on with Clay, who's just coming around Spoon Corner. Oh, that's ballsy. Turning on his ERS before the car straightened up. Small bit of traffic ahead, so hopefully they get out of the way nice and promptly. As I believe that's Gainful, and no, it's not. Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah, he gets out of the way. Nicely done. See what Clay can do. Comes around the last corner. It's going to be a 32.5 from Clay. He definitely needs to go again. Yeah, Bobo out of fuel, so I can only assume that that was a practice lap. Geezer, we haven't. Yeah, we'll wait until Geezer comes around and see. Airways jumping in there with a 129.4 on the mediums. That looks absolutely rapid compared to everyone else. Let's be completely honest about it. But again, 3 laps on the mediums, I just don't see that being advisable. My mediums Friday night didn't feel great after 8 or 9 laps. The whole idea of taking a set of mediums into qualifying, you do 1 lap, save them for the race. I don't understand, and it's not just Airways. We see lots of drivers putting 2, 3, 4, 5 laps on mediums, and that just absolutely kills them for the race. So it's a bit pointless. Why not just bring in the set of softs? But maybe there's a method to the madness. What would I know? I'm slow as fuck on this game. Is what it is. Anyway, we'll run out with points as Geezer, see what he can do as he takes turns 1 and 2. Quite nice actually, if I'm honest. Just glancing onto the exit curve on the left. Oh, that rear is absolutely roaring at him, which can happen. Stayed in 6th. Thought he should don't shifted to 5th. Down to 4th here, back up to 5th. Bit leaky. Just got away with it. If you hit that curve wrong, it will drag you onto the gravel. Oh, he's gone very deep there, and that's going to be a problem. And he's around, so that is a big issue for Geezer. He's going to have to get around and go again if he has enough time to get in and out. What's left in the session, I can't see because I have a yellow flag in sector 3. 5 minutes, yeah, he should be okay. Steve, is he on a lap? He is on a lap, and that's a purple sector 2. So let's see what Steve can do. He's definitely improving, but by how much? No, he's come back into the pits because he's invalidated. That's a disaster for Steve. P11, a 130.2. I've absolutely no idea what the cut-off point is. But yeah, full send Dave just starting the lap, so we'll stick on with him and see what he can do. Currently in P15, so he's currently safe, but with Bobo not to have set a time yet, I'd imagine he definitely needs to improve. Sector 1 here is quite difficult. You have to be really smooth on the throttle. You get out of shape in any part of this, it just kills you for the rest of the sector entirely. Does well. Seems to be back in the car small bit. Oliver Ritchie retires in the pits, reckons he's enough done, and I would be pretty confident he goes with a 29.3. Yeah, difficult. There's many ways to take that hairpin, but if you take it wrong, the car bogs down on the eggs. It can cost you a lot of time all the way down to spoon. And if someone can clarify if this part is spoon, or is this part spoon, or is it all spoon? I don't know. As Cabinet says, the hash sounds like shit. I fully agree with you. But yeah. So, full send Dave, currently up 3/10, and he needs every bit of that, and probably more. Let's see what he can do. Around the final corner, wants to try and stay close to the barrier, and he does. He's hugging that. And that's a 30.2, just under 4/10 up. Moves him up to P11. Jump back with Bobo. See what he can do. Captain Niz and Airways have both decided they have enough done now, and I would think they have. Almost certainly anyone in the 29s is safe at this point, I would say. But yeah, not ideal for Bobo. This, an invalidation now wouldn't be great. I don't think he needs to push. He probably has enough pace to get himself out without really pushing the limits too much. But you know, it is the natural tendency every time you go on a lap to push it as hard as you can. So let's see what he can do. 112.4 looks to be in the 29s. So unless there's a major issue in sector 3, that should be nice and handy for him, which would drop Captain Hindsight into the drop zone. Bobo to cross the line, and it's a 29.3, fastest lap of the session so far. That will see him through, and it knocks Captain Hindsight into the danger zone, who is on an out lap. Is Gainful? He is not. James Brown, is he on a lap? James Brown is on a lap. Marginally up through sector 2, just under a tenth. Or sector 1, sorry. Sector 2, up 2.5 tenths. So definitely improving here, and that's a purple sector 2 as well from James Brown. Let's see, can he hook up sector 3? Nice bit of curb on the right, nice bit of curb on the left. And powers towards the line, out of the last corner. That's definitely an improvement, and that's James Brown into 29s. Drops him up, or puts him up to P7. Anyone else on a lap? Northpack is on a lap, up a tenth and a bit at the moment. If anyone can just confirm if my mic volume and the game volume is all okay, sounds good, let me know. If not, I'll adjust it. Sounds good, M9. I presume you mean mate, but okay. Shaped like those Japanese spoons. I'm going to be really honest. I don't know what a Japanese spoon is, but I'll Google it. Let's see what North can do. Can he improve? Heads towards the line at 29 from North as well. Where does this pace come from? Into the 29s, and yeah, decent lap there from Northback. Currently decided he's done enough. Probably has, but it's dodgy, in my humble opinion. Got to jump on with Hindsight, who has invalidated already. So, if he has enough fuel, he'll get to go again. If he doesn't, he's going to be out 45 seconds left. And no, he won't even get to the line. So, unfortunately, Captain Hindsight is going to be out. Clay has just started a lap. I'm going to see what he can do. Unless Anderson is on one. He's just behind Clay, not ideal at all. Geezer just ahead of him, so I'll stay on with Geezer, see what Geezer can do. Doesn't have a time set yet. Had that little issue in sector 2 on his first run. Goes wide there, just about holds onto the car. Anderson with no time on the board either. Captain Hindsight is out. Osso is in the pits. He is out as well. So it's just these three. Probably a couple of others gone on runs as well. Got to stick with the guys in the drop zone at the moment. And see what happens. Geezer will be the first to cross the line, followed by Anderson, followed by Clay, and Anderson is extremely close to the back of Clay, which is not good at all. Clay is fully entitled to be on his lap. Not adequate spacing left to the car ahead, so this tow down the back straight could be insane. And it will be that, he's going to get a massive tow here. The only issue is if he catches him. See what Geezer can do. He goes to the line at 30.3 from Geezer, not enough yet. Anderson really on the back from now, so unfortunately we've lost Geezer now as well. Great lap from Geezer, and only just fractionally out. Let's see what Clay can do. Is there enough of an improvement in it? There's 8 tenths, and it's a 31.6. Anderson crossing the line with a 30.3 as well. I would imagine being so close to the back of Clay there was far from ideal, but yeah, that's it. Scotty True, great lap from point size Geezer. Very unfortunate for him. His game fell on a lap. He's 8 seconds over, so that is the end of Q1. As Gainful munches the barrier. Got away with that. Big time. So yeah, hard to know. Times seem to vary from session to session, but sometimes you'd imagine with track evolution Q2 times would be faster than Q1 and Q3 would be faster than Q2, but it doesn't always pan out that way. But if it does, it looks like 29s are going to be needed to get into Q3. So yeah, confirmation there. Unfortunately, losing point size Geezer. Anderson, Hindsight, who invalidated his final run. Osso and Clay. That's a hard one to take for Hindsight, and it's always one of them where you do your run on the mediums and you don't get through, and you don't get to use any of your softs. That's a bitter pill to swallow, but that is the risk you take. That's why I'll always, if I am running a medium, make sure that I have enough time for 2 full runs on the softs, if required. But yeah. Yeah, Clay, I fully understand that. That's definitely distracting. In terms of the rules, nothing wrong, nothing done wrong, but it's most certainly distracting. Even though you're tight to be on your lap, you're always going to be conscious of that car behind. What's he going to do? You miss your braking point, and yeah, so on and so forth. But yeah, it is what it is for now. Let me just get up my data, full track map, tires, and I go on with D for this, as he will be the first one to set a lap. 18 viewers in, appreciate it. Feel free to jump into the chat. I'll take abuse, not a problem. Just be careful because you'll get it back. But yeah, crack on. So yeah, just a reminder to anyone joining late that didn't hear at the start. Championship battle, championship battle coming down to the last race. Driver's title up for grabs between Captain Nibs and Bobo. Irrespective of what Nibs does, Bobo needs to finish P5. He needs 11 points to win. If they tie on points, he takes it on most race wins. 5-4 of Nibs. So yeah, P5 or better, and he's taking the championship regardless of what Captain Nibs does. Obviously, we won't be able to confirm anything tonight. We'll have to go through the incident stewarding procedure and see where we end up. But yeah, by 5 o'clock tomorrow, we'll know for sure. Probably have a good indicator anyway, but still won't be able to confirm it. So just going around with Steve, see what he can do on his first run. See what it looks like on board. Sometimes the broadcast view, you can't really see what's happening in the cockpit. Should be down to 4th there, Steve, but I actually like the sound of the Haas, if I'm honest. I know Cavalier says he doesn't like it, but I think it sounds cool. It's better than the Steak anyway. That's just an absolute shitbox of the highest order. Yeah, Scotty on the mediums is an interesting one. Scroll through Q1 and now he's on the mediums. I'd imagine it would have made more sense to use the mediums in Q1. But again, what would I know? So yeah, going off of what Colin says, Japanese spoon. We're just going to say them two left-handers are spoon. That is spoon. So, yeah. It's 2 corners, so yeah, not sure. So Steve's going to be the first one to set a time. Didn't catch his second 2 spinners as I was chatting garbage. Let's see what he can do. It'll be the fastest lap in Q2 so far. And it's going to be a 30.1 for Steve. That's going to need an improvement, I would imagine. A 30.2 from Northpack. 130.1 from Dave. Nibs at 29.1. I have absolutely no idea who's next. So yeah, Oliver Ritchie next with a 129.5. Only 2 drivers into the 29 so far. Marshall just crossing the line to start the lap. Just the Aston Martin of Chip. And he does a 30.4 also. That's a Mercedes. That's Harvey, I would think. That is Harvey with a 29.7. The Haas Cavalis is next with a 30.1. That is a Mercedes. A Scotty back into the pits. Who invalidated? James Brown coming across the line now. Let's see what he can do. And he's the pace in qualifying so far. It's a 30.2 from James Brown. Who else? wow, that looked lethal from Marshall's point of view. Airways is coming around the last couple of corners, so stick on with him, see what he can do. Nicely done there from Airways. Let's see, can he get to the 29s? And that's a 28. Wow, that's fast from Airways. Curly is doing a burner lap. Bobo is just coming out on an out lap. Gameful's in the pits. Scotty's in the pits. Yeah, that is a lap and a half from Airways. We know he has the quali pace. Just yeah, wow, Jesus Christ. 28.7 from Marshall. So yeah, this is going to be the interesting one if Bobo and Nibs have a bit of traffic. Obviously, Bobo probably being 15 points clear, he can be a bit more relaxed, but pressure's probably more on Nibs. And what happens when you're under pressure? Do you make mistakes? Do you try and force moves? That would certainly be a factor. As I said, difficult track to overtake on. I'm going to stick on with Curly. Get a burner lap and see what he can do. 202.4 is probably not going to be enough. In fact, it definitely won't be enough. That's me being smart, going wrong. Anyhow. Airways and Marshall to tier 1, Wookie to the exit door. Yeah, we can do 3 of them, yeah, not a problem. Yeah, so, you see, I'm going to address that comment from Wookie because whilst I know there's no malice in it, it's not like you could pick tier 1 based on qualifying pace, and it can show you something differently. There's a lot of guys where quali pace is stronger than the race pace, and vice versa. So it's a lot of things are factored in when selecting tiers and grids and pots and whatnot. Airways, for example, with respect to him, just seems to always get caught up in something, some form of something. Sometimes through no fault of his own or whatever. Obviously, if it's not reported, it never happened. So he doesn't make a whole pile of reports. So mustn't have happened a whole pile. But yeah, it's not always just about quali pace. Race pace is certainly a factor for sure. Racing etiquette, you know, what I call boxing clever, all these kinds of things. So it's on the face of it, you see quali times, you're like wow, and it doesn't always play out that way. Oh, Curly, no! Gets away with murder there. Don't come back out onto the track with a car behind. There's no one behind, it's fine. And if it is, it's only his teammates, so I'm sure they could sort that out between themselves. As Wookie says, hi Dan. Hello Wookie. Scotty coming through sector 2. Gainful is on a lap as well, just ahead of Scotty. Curly on his in lap, so we'll see what Gainful can do. No time on the board yet. Same with Scotty, no time on the board on the mediums, which I don't think he has the pace for, but let's see. And that's a 30.1. What can Scotty do? Yeah, 30.8 from Scotty. The medium's definitely not going to be quick enough for him here. At this point, Steve is on a lap, so I'm going to stick on with him. He's certainly last time there, I would think. Just getting a bit squirrely on the curve. Let's see what his sector 1 split is. He has enough time to dip back in. Up a half a tenth. Not bad, as I said. My fucking hell. Oh, apologies. I have no idea how we didn't validate there, to be completely honest. But yeah, as I said, and I might be wrong, I think a high 29 is the cut-off point, but again, might be wrong on that. Let's see. So yeah, 112.9. That's probably, yeah, it depends on sector 3. That could be a high 29 or it's going to be a 30 depending what happens. Goes a bit deep there and he's going to get squirrely on that power. Stick it nice and close to the barrier. Try and reduce the amount of track and see what he can do. It's a 29.7 from Steve. So yeah, high 29. That should be enough, but I don't know. James Brown 2/10 up. See how the rest of his lap plays out. And yeah, F-bomb. It slipped out, to be honest. What are you gonna do? Sue me. I usually try to run on with who's going to cross the line next, but I am absolutely cat at doing it. So yeah, I'll just pick drivers here and there, otherwise it's just going to be me flicking. That's a purple sector 2 from James Brown, and if he hooks up sector 3, this is definitely a high 29 at the very least. If he nails sector 3, could be a low to mid 29. Let's see what he can do. Heads towards the line. Definitely 29, but 29 what? A 29.7 also from James Brown. Cavlis, he's up a couple of tenths and he's on the medium, so whoa, mother of beep, that was close. Northpack, let's see what he can do. Couple of tenths up and he needs every bit of it. Note the beat there instead of the F-bomb for the softies, Colin and Wookie. So yeah, Northpack definitely needing every bit of them 2/10s and more. See what a sector 2 split time is, but it needs to be a 1.12 something to hit a 29. And it's a 12.6. He's up 4/10s. All going well. If he nails sector 3, he should be okay. Bobo's retired in the pits. Definitely enough for a low 20 or a low 29, I would think. Squirrely enough there from Northpack. I think he lost a bit of time there, but it's the 29.6 from Northpack. Gainful, very, very squirrely. I think he's backed out anyway, so if he has enough fuel, he can go again. Cavlis and Scotty in the pits. Full send Dave and Curly on outlaps. They are currently in the drop zone. Harvey, the one currently in danger, 29.7. The forecast he's okay, but I wouldn't bet my house on it, to be honest. I think at 29, I said at high 28, or high 29, apologies. So I think Harvey's safe, but it's dodgy. See why he's going again. Simple as that. James Brown is done. He's back into the pits. Full send Dave, is he on a lap? He's just coming through sector 1. Just going to see where Curly is. Yeah, I'm going to stick on with Full send Dave and I'll drop back to Curly then. See can they improve to try and get out of this qualifying 2 session. Oliver Ritchie, 28.7, fastest lap of the session so far. Steve retires in the pits. I'm not sure if that's a lack of tyres or a lack of time, but it's probably certainly a lack of skill. Sorry Steve, it's a joke before you get your knickers in a twist. Yeah, let's see what Dave can do. Captain Nibs decides he's done enough. Dave, no! Doesn't invalidate, but oh, how? How? He's lost a bag load of time there, I'd imagine. Anything up to a second airways 28.5, that's just disgusting. Dave with a 31, so unless it's a sublime sector 3, we're going to lose Dave, I would think. He's back into the pit, so we are losing Dave, unfortunately. What can Curly do? He's up 9/10, and he needs it. Not enough, I'd say, but oh, it's a high 29. I had 29.7 as the cutoff. Harvey with a 29.1 there as well. Who is next? The Curly just crossed the line, so we're going to lose Curly, unfortunately. Gainful's in the pits. Fulton Dave's in the pits. So we only got Scotty, who's on a lap, and Cavlis, who's on an out lap, who can knock James Brown out. Everybody else from Northpack up is safe, I think. anyway. Let's see what Scotty can do. Yeah, T-Bag, it is pretty close, as always, to be fair. So let's see what Scotty's Sector 2 split time is. His light is flashing. That battery is definitely going to be costing him time at 13. He's improving. I don't think it's going to be enough unless it's a blistering Sector 3. That battery is definitely going to be costing him time. And that's very, very squirrely there. So I'd be shocked if he gets into the 29s. And he doesn't. He does improve, but that Sector 3 costing Scotty there. So that is Steve safe. Cavalis now the only one that can knock out James Brown. He's a couple of tenths up. 29.7 was my cut-off point, and that is currently where it is. So let's see, can Cavalis beat it and knock out James Brown? Sector 2 split time will be interesting. Really maximising track evolution as well. He's 6 tenths up at 12.7. A tidy Sector 3, and it's going to be close. Very, very close. Not the tidiest looking Sector 3 in the world. I think he's lost a bit of time there. I don't think that's enough. Let's see. It is enough. That knocks out James Brown, and it's a 29.5 from Cavalis, and still, yeah, 29.7 was my predicted cut-off point, and that is what Steve done. So yeah. On my Todd tonight, yeah, T-Bag. Just pit and quit lap 1. Is that me or Clay? So, just over a second split in the grid, but really from P4 down, it is quite tight. Captain Nibs and Bobo in 5th and 4th, respectively. So I'd expect them to jump. They're not going to want traffic. They're not going to want traffic ahead of them. Just confirmation losing James Brown, Curly, Gainful, Fulson Dave, and Scotty. I will be back in a second. Apologies for... Ooh. Why is that so... Oh, yeah. Okay. Right. Let me get up my information. Tyres. Telemetry. Yeah, it's nice to see North back in Q3. He'll admitted himself he's not had the best of seasons. Definitely has shown pace at times, but certainly not a season to remember for him. But nice to see him in Q3 nonetheless. As that car, that state car, I like it. It looks good. Sounds crap, but I like how it looks. Who is first is the question. It is Nibs, I think. No, it's not. It's Bobo. So yeah, I suppose you want to get your banker lap in and give it absolutely everything in your final run. That's my tactic anyway. The rare time that I make Q3. So yeah, Bobo, why? If anybody needs an invite, let me know. Just see Anderson and Captain Hindsight rejoining there. I'm not sure if they disconnected or joined themselves. Big lock up from Boba into turn 1. Gonna go on board for this as well. I always feel the quali laps are better when they're on board. Just gives you a real feel for what's happening in the cockpit. Nailing it down to 4th, back up to 5th, nice and tight to the left, and drifting over to the right hand side before coming back to the left again for this little right hander, which is definitely easier on this game compared to the last. Down to 3rd, get the car rotated in, up to 4th, 5th and 6th and probably 7th, all the way down to 2nd. Look to have a lot of rotation there. On the power nice and early in 2nd. Stick nice and tight to the right hand side before drifting to the left and back to the right again to take the spoon or spoons. Not sure what we're going to call them yet. We'll just call them spoons. They could be, because it's spoon corner. Like, yeah. Anyway, battery now low. That's going to be costing him top end speed for sure. Just glance the curve on the left, over to the right, over to the left, and a heavy braking zone. Need to get it nice and, oh, he goes deep there. Definitely goes deep there. Misses the apex on the right hander. Nice to the left, close to the barrier, to the line, and it's a 28.4. Nice lap. The next one is Steve, I believe, 30.3, and then Cavlis. No, it's not Cavlis, it's Airways, 29.1. Where is Nibs? Nibs coming around the last couple of corners. Let's see what his first run can be like. That's a difficult time to beat from Bo, but let's see. 28.7 from Captain Nibs, provisionally on the front row next to Bo, which would make for an interesting race start, that's for sure. Let's see what Northback can do. 29 something. No, 30 dead. And Cavalis coming around spoons. The only one left to set a time. Ah, yeah. Okay, spoon curve. Nah, listen. I understand it's a curve, but yeah, I suppose it. Yeah, okay, all right. It's a curve. The spoon curve. Fair enough. So is it spoon curve or spoon's curve? Well, I suppose it's spoon curve, but spoon's corners. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Cavlis 29.3. Everybody's going to be heading around to the pits now. Get back in. I'd imagine a lot of these guys will have fresh softs, some won't, and they can prepare themselves. Ah, yeah, sorry. So some of them first runs are probably on used tyres. With respect again, the slower guys, probably North and Steve and maybe a couple of more setting them times on a used set of tyres. So definitely going to be fresh set of tyres for everyone on their final run, unless somebody used them for their first run, which wouldn't make sense. But yeah, I suppose I've been running this league for 12 seasons. Sometimes sense is taken for granted. Anyways, yeah, I suppose coming down to Wookie's point again about quali pace and that. I think Bo, Captain Nibs, Olo Richie and Airways, their race pace, well, if Airways can get through lap 1 without having an issue, their race pace is pretty strong. Harvey has come on leaps and bounds in the last couple of weeks as well, and Marshall, who was in the Alpine at the start of the season, but unfortunately for him had to drop out, but he's back again in the stake because Teabag is Teabag. So yeah, race pace from them two, I would say, probably a bit behind your current top 4, but I'm not sure. It's track dependent as well, and that is Chip on an outlap, and he's going early. He wants free track. Airways also seen this from Airways quite a bit actually. Right on with Airways and see what he can do. So yeah, Airways coming up for his final run. Could be potentially a burner lap. Not a fan of burner laps. Never have been. Never will be. The psychological barrier between an extra outlap of wear, just can't deal with it. So yeah, Yeah, looking at them times, I'd imagine Northpack and Steve definitely were on a used set of tyres for their first runs. So you could see quite a bit of an improvement there out of them for their final runs. Yeah, I see that, Colin, but I'm on my own, trying to look at the stream. So I just couldn't be arsed checking my DMs. I'll check them after. But yeah, we'll just call it spoon curve. The curved spoon. The Japanese spoon. I think I know what you're trying to know that, to be honest. Anyways, I'm going to ride on board with Airways. As I said, prefer the on-board view for a hot lap. Just gives you that real sense of what it's like being in the driver's seat. Track coming at you. When you look at it from this point of view, it's nice and casual. Just taking a couple of corners, nice and easy, going pretty quick, but just going around. Then you go in and it's like, oh wow, there's track coming left, right and centre. So yeah, prefer the on-board. Glancing off them curves, which you can do, you can get maybe a half a wheel on the curves, any more than that, and they just want to eat you in and split you back out. Sticking in fifth there, nice and tight to the left hand side of the track, right hand side on the exit, back over to the left again for the first of this double right hander. This piece here can be very slippery, and he takes that absolutely perfectly. There's a bit of a sausage on that exit curve. If you catch that, it'll drag you out, keep you wide, and could cost you 2 or 3 tenths, but he absolutely nails that. Nice, see that's cracking from Airways. This looks like a really fast lap. You see what the split time is. Just going on another 20% in the battery. An 11.4 I believe that was, so that's definitely into your 28s. Will we get to 27s? I don't think so, but it's tier 3. Let's see what he does. Nice and tight to the barrier, and he doesn't get 27, but he does get 28.4 provisional. Front row for Airways, and I believe the other one that went out behind him was Chip, and he's backed out, so he's either last time or, and that's going to kill him now because he doesn't have the battery. But unfortunate for Chip. Next one to cross the line will be Northpack, slightly over on his time, so he's had he's slightly under, half a tenth, a lot more than slightly, and he needs that half a tenth at least. Needs to nail sector 3. Nicely done through the right hander, nicely done through the left hander, back on the 4. Not nice and tight, goes left, that's costing time, definitely. It's a 29.3 from Northpack, puts in P6 at the moment, so not a bad time at all from Northpack, as I believe that is Steve just starting his final run, so I will try and come back to him in a while as I try to figure out who's next across the line. I think it's Nibs. And it is Nibs. It's not Nibs. He will cross the line, but it's not a lap. Yeah, who is behind that? That is Oliver Ritchie. And he is most certainly on a lap. Not a lot. Oh, Scotty has lost connection. I will invite you again. Just Scotty. Yeah, okay. You're not showing us online, Scotty, so I've sent you another invite anyway. I haven't sent you another invite anyway because it says you're in the session. Yeah, it says you're in the session, Scotty. I'm not sure. Maybe someone else can invite you. I just need to try and get back here and see what's happening. Oliver Ritchie crosses the line after invalidating. Marshall just starting his final run, just about gets that line done. Where is Nibs? He's in sector 2, slightly over his time, whereas oh, Bobo's done! He's had a massive issue in sector 1, so he's not going to improve any further. Can Nibs take pole? He's fractionally over on his time, and he does have about 3/10 to make up. So he needs a massive sector 2 and a sector 3. He can do it, no question. No question at all. He definitely wants to get himself up on the front row next to Bobo at the very least. Airway's gone very close there with 28.469, only a couple of thousandths off of Bo. Needs fraction over on his time. He needs a big sector 3 here to try and do anything. Let's see what he can do. And he improves by 2/10, but doesn't come up in the positions. Marshall is Cavlas next across the line, and he's up to P5 for Cavlas. Harvey is next, and I think Marshall's far enough behind that it's not affecting. So let's see what Harvey can do. Didn't catch his splits there, unfortunately, but he does look to be up. And he is up, and he jumps up to P5, and Marshall crosses the line in P6. I'm just try and get Scotty an invite there. Sorry for a second. Can't find Scotty for some reason. I'm just going to actually invite the group. Couple of people have left and rejoined, so look, it'll do no harm. Hopefully Scotty can get back in. So yeah, all systems go for Bo. He's starting in pole, short run into turn 1, so it's not the worst place in the world to be P1. Obviously P1 is better than P2, but certain tracks like Mexico, Monza, Bahrain, with these big long runs into turn 1, sometimes pole isn't always the best place to be. So not bad for him. We'll give a run through there now. So we got Bo and Airways taking the front row, followed by Oliver Ritchie and Captain Nibs on the second row. Harvey and Marshall making up the third row, followed by Cavlis, Snorlax, Northpack, and Chip Hazard. So yeah, look, as I said, Bobo needing P5 for the win, or to win the championship. So he's in a good position. Captain Nibs has a bit of work to do. He needs to finish ahead of Bobo, certainly, but really needs a race win here. So we'll just have to see how this one plays out. We'll be back in a tick. So currently the drivers will be on the race strategy screen, picking their fuel, adjusting their setups, potentially, and definitely picking their strategy. Interesting to see how this one plays out. I'd be shocked if Bobo doesn't start on the mediums. No need to try the alternate strategy, in my humble opinion. For me, it's just interesting to see what does Nibs do. Does he start on the mediums? Does he start on the hards? I'm going to predict he starts on the hards, but I may be wrong. Soft hard is possible here as well, I think, but not ideal. In a track where you can't really make up positions, I don't see the huge benefit to running the softs, but again, I might be wrong. So I will get up the info. No, I'm wrong. Everybody on the mediums, bar Full Send Dave and Clay Mull. Full Send Dave on the hards, Clay Mull on the softs. Clay probably looking at a soft hard, unless he's going soft, medium, soft, which would be possible as well. Certainly, but probably soft hard. Everyone else on the medium, so it's in terms of strategy, it's not a complicated one for once. Normally is. There's normally a big mixture of tyres, but not here. As I said, 18 drivers on the mediums. Predicted pit stops, I'm going to say somewhere between lap 12 and probably 15, 16. So yeah, the game says 13 to 16. For the one stop, two stop, I don't see working here unless there's a safety car. So the two stop strategy as a race strategy, I don't think is an option. It's medium hard, hard medium, or soft hard for Clay, I would say. Yeah, in around. So lap 13 to 16 for the mediums. Obviously, safety car. Guys potentially taking that second set of mediums into the race. If there's another safety car, get back onto the mediums from the hards. But again, who knows? It's for Captain Nibs. His track position is key here, so that might play into his thought process. Bobo couldn't have done any more. Starts P1. He's 11 points, or he's 15 points clear rather. Needs P5 and up to take the Drivers' Championship. Captain Nibs, it's out of his hands. If Bobo finishes in the top 5, he is Tier 3 champion, subject to incidents. And yeah, so it's still all to play for. You would imagine it's a bit of a stretch for Captain Nibs, but who knows? A race can change so fast. Yeah, cars lining up now, and Bobo, was he disqualified? He was, so that's going to put him back a bit. Can Airways get a run on him? That is the question. Going to stick on with the top few just for the opening couple of corners to see how they play out. And we are away. Nibs getting a bit squirrely all the way. Richie getting a good getaway. Captain Nibs with a masterful getaway. Nibs on the inside of Oliver Richie. Difficult place to try and stick your nose in. Does he get past him? Ooh, with a wheel bang in between Nibs and Oliver Richie. Oliver just slightly off track, and Airways loses the car himself, I believe. Disaster for Airways. Captain Nibs, couple of corners up to P2, but he's out of DRS, and he's got Oliver Richie extremely close to the back of him. So, more or less a perfect start from Captain Nibs. Disaster for Airways. I didn't see exactly what happened, but from what I can see, he lost it on his own. Oliver thinking about making a move in the hairpin, thinks better of it, which is a good decision because he wasn't significantly alongside. Captain Nibs now is deploying a bit of battery, as is both, to try and bake that DRS. Going to stick on with the front few, so apologies to those behind. Just want to see Harvey going wide through Spoon Curve. That's costing him a bit of time, and that's Marshall making a move now on Harvey. Up the inside. You're going to go too wide through 130R. Ooh, points his geezer, and that is a full safety car. As Oliver Richie overtakes Nibs, and I'm going to say that's under the safety car. Yeah, that Nibs getting back ahead. That's fine. Full safety car. I have no idea what even happened. Point size geezer. Scotty is not in the session. So yeah, no idea what caused that. Steve into the pits. I'd imagine that's for a wing. That is for a wing and a set of hard compound tyres, I believe. this game changes tyres regardless of whether you've selected it or not. Just to confirm, yeah, that is Steve on the hards. No idea what happened, point size geezer. We'll have a quick look. No penalty so far. One pit stop, and that is for Steve. Position change. Airway is the biggest loser there, down 10 places. I believe he lost the rear of the car himself, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't think there's contact with anybody. Steve down 11 positions as well. You got Clay in hindsight up 5, Gainful up 5, and the rest is kind of as you were, more or less. The only one that hasn't moved up or down is Bo, Harvey, and Full Send Dave. Yeah, Anderson has joined back. Look, I'm gonna try Scotty again. Just in case. Another invite sent there, Scotty. So can't do no more than that. Not sure how Steve is typing and driving at the same time. Concentrate on the driving, I would suggest. Would be my opinion. Yeah, so we'll go back. Nobody pitting. It's a safety car lap 1. If you don't have any damage, you're not going to pit. So these mediums though can probably extend closer to that lap 16. I wouldn't rule out a medium soft at this point. Probably still a bit of a stretch. Obviously, as we know, tyre warming on this game is absolute dog. So you will put a nice bit of wear trying to get them tyres back up to temp as nobody else comes into the pits. So yeah, it's as you were. I'd imagine the safety car might come in the end of this lap, but certainly the next lap. So nobody into the pits. In terms of strategy, it's more or less the same for everyone, bar Steve, who will have to pit again. So them second set of mediums will come in handy for him. And he can look to go late into this race now as well, maybe hope for a safety car, something like that. I have no idea why Richie is back ahead of Nibs, but he is. Something for the stewards to figure out after. I'm pretty confident that the safety car was out when Oliver Richie went past Captain Nibs, so it's not ideal for Nibs now to be in P3. He needs that race win to try and put the pressure on Bobo and see what happens. So the field is bunched up. It's the second safety car lap. I'm not sure does it have to be out for 3 laps. Something in the back of my mind saying that, but I'm not 100% sure. But if not, you should be getting that safety car message in pretty soon. Otherwise, it will stay out for another lap. Bobo nice and tight to the back of the safety car as well, so that's not going to delay any restart of this race. It would appear to me that it's going to stay out for another lap unless it's a late call. Bobo has dropped off the back, so yeah, it's going to stay out for another lap. No, it's not. It's an extremely late call, and Bobo is going to have to try back the pack up now in a limited amount of time, so hopefully this doesn't cause any issues behind. Going to stick on with Bo and see what kind of a restart he gets. Very, very late call there. He's going to wait. He's going to need to wait for the safety car to come into the pits before he goes, and the safety car is in, so he can go now whenever it suits him. Taking it all the way to the line by the looks of it, and he's gone. Doesn't catch anyone napping, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not a fan of these restarts. It can cause havoc. Captain Nibs going up the inside of Oliver Richie, as is Marshall into turn 1. So yeah, I'm not sure if Oliver got caught napping. He's back past Marshall again, but that's all Nibs could have hoped for, is to regain that P2, and he has done that. Going to try and drop through the field and see what's going on, as we have Clay Mull, who's had an issue. Not sure if it was contact, did he lose it himself, but he is round and he is all the way at the back of the field now. Oh, Bobo getting very squirrely there. Gonna ride on with this for a while. Again, apologies to the guys at the back, but there's a driver's title up for grabs. Current leaders in P1. The guy in second is in P2. Does he have a look at 130R? He goes up the inside. It's a dodgy place to do it, but he gets ahead. Bobo tuck in behind, and he will get the slipstream down into turn 1. But yeah, Captain Nibs taking the lead of this race. Currently on lap 4, about to start lap 5 here at Japan. And his battery is gone, which is unlike Nibs, if I'm honest, as is Bo's. So, interesting one. Is the pressure getting to them? Everybody's battery is rinsed, if I'm honest. I'll try and drop down, see what's happening behind. Everybody currently within DRS of the car ahead, bar Scotty and Clay. Scotty's not in the session, I believe. Clay having that issue on the last lap, so he has a bit of a lonely race at the back for a while. We know Airways is going to get up the field as well, but it's a difficult track to overtake on, as stated multiple times. So we'll have to see what happens there. And that's a slow moving Aston Martin that has all his end plates intact. That is James Brown. And he tags the back of Airways, and he's lost an end plate because of that. So that's certainly going to cost him. Don't think Airways did anything wrong, but yeah, just got a bit close to the car behind. Gainful under savage pressure now from Captain Hindsight as well. The slipstream down the back straight is a bit mental, if I'm honest. Feels so tight after that safety car restart as well. Captain Nibs with the fastest lap currently, and that is James Brown into the pits for a new wing. Who is that? Point says Geezer has left the session. Yeah, unfortunately he crashed out. Got the two Williams, Anderson and Fulton Dave having a look. Fulton Dave on the hard as well, so not entirely his race at the moment to be unnecessarily racing people. Obviously you want to keep track position and stick close to the car ahead, but he is on a completely different strategy. As I will go back to the front runners at the moment and see what's happening here. Bobo's on a big recharge. Yeah, Captain Nibs feeling the pressure now. Bobo's doing a better job for ERS, as is Oliver, as is Harvey. Not Harvey, apologies, as is Marshall. So yeah, Captain Nibs is probably using that battery to try and break the DRS, but it's not happening with the car so close behind. He could be very susceptible to multiple overtakes into turn 1, so he needs to be careful of that. Everyone else getting a slipstream. We'll see how close this is. Oh man, mega close. Bobo should get this move done into turn 1 handy enough, and as I said, it's just a case of how many positions does Captain Nibs lose here. If any. Bobo not making the progress that I thought. So yeah, Oliver Ritchie having a look up the inside, thinks better of it. Bobo getting extremely close to the back of Nibs. Oliver Ritchie isn't hanging around here. He's keeping an eye on this battle ahead, but we know he's going to make moves. Marshall also there, Harvey also there. So the top 5 now have broke the RS to chip. So we do have a couple of splits around the field. Northpack falling back a small, but as well he's got Airways behind him. I've had Airways behind me. It's not a nice feeling because he's fast. But yeah, so a bit of a breakaway there. Currently, couple of splits, but by and large the field is still extremely close together. And there's a yellow flag. And a safety car. Why is that? Is that a slow moving Haas? Is that Steve? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, I think box for hards is the logical call at this point of the race. Maybe 17, 18 laps on the hards. I'd be absolutely shocked if all the medium runners don't come in. But who knows? Hopefully nobody gets a drive through. As I said, I'd be shocked if they don't come in. But yeah. Nibs in, Bobo in, Richie in. Yeah, I think everybody coming in. It's the logical thing to do. It's not a million miles away from the pit stop anyway. Captain Hindsight, who stayed out? That's Cavalis has stayed out. Captain Hindsight has stayed out. Anderson has stayed out. Full Send Dave, obviously on the hards, will stay out. Everybody else in. Scotty's on the session. Clay will definitely come in for hards. James Brown is on hards already, so he's probably going to stay out. Mediums won't go to the end. The hards will. They won't feel great towards the end, but they'll go there. James Brown back in. Does he have more damage or what? Yeah, he's in for another wing. And he's either been double stacked or he has a penalty. Didn't think there was a penalty there, but it definitely looks like... Oh, unless he just picked it up. But yeah. Whew. Right. Gonna have a look and see what is happening. So yeah, Captain Hindsight and Anderson staying out on the mediums. That's a mistake for me personally. Full Send Dave has no choice but to stay out. Everybody else is boxed. James Brown for a wing, but also going back onto the mediums. He probably should have stayed on the hards. But yeah. Tyres, penalties. Nobody with a penalty so far in this race. Everybody bar the front three have made their mandatory pit stop. Position changes. Obviously the top three are going to be up quite a bit because they've not pitted. Captain Nibs, as you are, net P1. Yeah, a couple of guys up and down airways. Bit of a recovery after that early issue. Steve as well, not so much of a recovery, but he has come back up a small bit. So yeah, that's where we are. I will be back in a second. So yeah, on the restart, we do have the issue now where the front three haven't boxed yet. With respect, they're not as quick as the 4 or 5 lads behind them on older tyres. So this could get problematic for Captain Nibs and Bobo. Definitely don't want to get caught in anything as the safety car is in this lap. Late call again, so hindsight needs to back this up big time. Warm up on the hards is absolutely horrendous. I think I restarted Friday night at like 52 degrees. So yeah, hindsight needs to back this up now or the game will cut his throttle. Safety car's in the pits, so he's probably okay to go if he wants. And he is gone. Captain Nibs not held asleep. He's going to want to try and get past here, but again, you don't want to do anything crazy into turn 1. And he doesn't get past Dave at that particular moment anyway. So yeah, as I said, the front 3 on older tyres, the guys behind want to gap in fairly lively, but it's a difficult place to overtake on. It's hard to do it. You don't want to force something and cost yourself time in positions or damage or anything like that. So it's a difficult one. You're going to have to be patient and use your head here. Bobo in P5 where he needs to be at the moment. It's net P2, but long ways to go in this race yet. 17 laps left. Whoa, Bobo having a massive lock up there, nearly catching the back of Nibs, but he just avoids that. Gets a better run than Oliver Ritchie out of that corner as well, so let me see what it looks like on board. It's such a hard one. Turn 1 is probably the best place to make an overtake. Interesting enough, we got the Williams, 2 Williams. Whoa! Oh, Nibs! That is not good. Oliver Ritchie spinning out of that as well. I'd be shocked if that was a late move. It just looked like Captain Nibs outbroke himself, broke too late. That's going to be a problem if that's reported. We'll have to see what happens after with the stewards, but Anderson picking up a 3-second time penalty there, that is almost certainly an unfair track limit warning. So if he doesn't pick up another one and appeals that, I'd be absolutely shocked if that's not removed. But yeah, that is not good for Captain Nibs at all. I have no idea if he's picked up damage either. On the back of Dave, he's dropping off the back a small bit. Doesn't look like damage, but helter skelter, not ideal, and it's cost Oliver Ritchie quite a bit. Yeah, we got a yellow flag. Sector 2, is that Airways? Whoa! Harvey, I think, just tagged the rear of Marshall. And Marshall is after losing the plot now, as you would. Did he just get tagged? Or did he lose it himself? I have no idea, because I wasn't on board with it, but it is an easy place to lose the car. For sure. Oliver Ritchie thinking about 130R. In my opinion, not advisable. Yeah, Nibs is going to try and have a look at Dave here, and he should get through. And he has to move down, and Bobo is going to get caught behind Dave now, so we'll have to see what happens here. I'd be absolutely shocked if Captain Hindsight doesn't release Captain Nibs ASAP. Would be really, really shocked with that. And then do a Sergio Perez, literally in the same car, hold Bobo up for as long as he can. It's just it's always a hard one. Where do you swap around? Where's the safest place to do it without costing yourself time as well? 130R on the back straight is probably a good place to do it. But again, that comes down to team orders. I don't know, will they actually make the swap? So we'll have to see how this one plays out, but it's interesting for sure. Will Bobo get past Dave? He's got past Dave. Dave's not giving it up. And he's got past. So yeah, ooh, Bobo getting squirrelier onto the sausage curb. I really feel that Nibs and Hindsight need to swap around if Nibs has any chance to try and create a gap between himself and Bobo. You know what, the pit straight mightn't be a bad place to do it, if they're going to do it at all. Will they do it now? They will do it now, and Hindsight has given that position to Captain Nibs, so playing the team game there for his teammate, and he's just going to try and hold up Bo now for as long as he can, who's having his own little battle with Harvey, to be fair. So a long ways to go in this race yet, a lot of different little things happening. But as I said, Jack, Bobo currently, if it finished like this, which it won't because Hindsight and Anderson need the box, he would have the title. But I think for Nibs, he probably should be trying to hold Hindsight within DRS, but it's a difficult one as well. And you know, Bobo's not slow, so it's just a case for Hindsight. How slow can he make this lap? The mediums, I can tell you now for a fact, are going to be feeling horrendous. And that is a yellow flag, sector 2. That is Marshall. Not sure if he's lost it or he doesn't appear to have any wing damage, so Northpack has had a spin also. Bit of a scrappy race right now. Captain Hindsight doing a good job of holding off Bobo for as long as he can anyway. 2.5 seconds now. He's not going to give it up, and rightly so. He shouldn't give it up. He's helping his teammate. He doesn't have to give it up either. He is racing in this game or in this race, but you would imagine Bo would do it pretty handy into turn 1 if Nibs doesn't pit anyway, and he doesn't pit. So yeah, I'd imagine Harvey taking the inside. Harvey's got to jump on Bobo as well, and Bobo should get past Captain Hindsight here, but Captain Hindsight not giving it up too easy, and Harvey is through as well. So that's put Bobo further back, and he's rinsed his back three as well. Hindsight took Anderson. Apologies, I didn't get that, but it's probably always going to happen. Yellow flag, sector 3. That is Northpack again. Not sure what happened there. I wasn't on board, but yeah, so Nibs isn't in a bad position at all. At all. Let's try and have a look around and see what's happening. Yellow flag, sector 3. That is Northpack, who has pit and quit. Yeah, Nibs, I don't know how you had time to respond, but for sure it did appear that you missed your breaking point, certainly. But yeah, not great either way, so apologies for that. Right, state of play. Bobo is net P2. He's got past Harvey, which I missed, so apologies for that. Anderson again with that 3-second penalty. That could prove vital, really. And he's really staying on the back of Captain Nibs here. Nibs is recharging, but Anderson isn't in a bad place either, but he's doing a great job on them mediums. Nibs now just about breaking DRS, but Bo's going to be all over the back of Anderson into turn one. The grip out of the last corner for Anderson isn't going to be great if he pits. It's probably around that pit window now for the guys in the mediums that stayed out, and Anderson is in. Hindsight stays out, and Bo gets DRS to try and close it up. So Bo doing exactly what he needs to do. Doesn't need to pit again. 1.4 behind Captain Nibs, but he does have Harvey behind him. Nothing crazy needed though from Bobo, just see it out. That would be the logical thinking. Airways back up to P5, which Airways has a habit of doing. The recovery drive specialist at this point. 11 or 12 laps to go in the race. And Bobo now within DRS of Captain Nibs. Let's have a look through the field as the front now has kind of settled down a small bit. Steve. So there is DRS all the way down from Captain Hindsight. That's a yellow flag. That is a... Is that a Red Bull? It is not. It's Clay. So Clay's had an issue on track. Can't see. He has no end plate on the left hand side, so he's going to need to box. He's done 8 laps on the mediums, in for hards to the end, but he does have a second set of mediums, so he can use them if required. Chip down in P17. Scotty not in the session. Bobo now with the fastest lap as well, so with the fastest lap, P6 I believe will do. But yeah, Fulton Dave has had enough of them hards. Potentially has wing damage. Probably a bit early on the hards. It's not. He's 10 laps to go on the mediums. I think at this stage Captain Hindsight is holding out for a safety car. Might be wrong, but that's what it looks like to me anyway. And Clay is in for them fresh mediums, so mediums to the end for Clay. They should be absolutely fine. No need to tire safe. Can probably push pretty hard on the mediums. Just going to stick on with Oliver Ritchie in this little battle with Hindsight. See what Hindsight does here. I'd be shocked if he doesn't come in this time. He doesn't, he stays out again, and Ritchie will absolutely take him, no problem. Airways with the fastest lap on the hards at 31.4 from Airways. I think it's kind of gone past the point of no return for Hindsight on them mediums at this point. Marshall getting past Osso into turn 1 with a helping of DRS. Let me have a look. Gonna go back to the front and see what's happening up there. I suppose the thing for Bobo is he doesn't need to do anything mad on Captain Nibs. He just needs to stay behind him, keep his battery up, finish where he is. P2, he's fine, he has the championship. But the risk here is Harvey creeping within DRS and starting to attack Bobo. That could cause problems for Bobo. You know, a potential incident, a little spin, and all of a sudden you have a problem. That is not unrealistic to think. So he needs to probably try and get past Nibs if he can. If I'm Nibs as well, I'm trying to back him into Harvey, get them two battling behind and see what happens. But Bobo's pretty close here, so he will have a helping at DRS, and he has a full battery to use also. Sooner he can get past, the better for him. doesn't appear to have the wings, if I'm honest. I know Nibs used a bit of battery there, but as I said, Harvey now teetering in and around that 1 second mark all the time, so he's used a lot of battery to get there, but if he can hold on to the end of this lap, helping a DRS down the pit straight would be very advantageous for Harvey. As we have a yellow flag, that is Clay out of the session, and that's a safety car. What do you do now? Wow. This is like Abu Dhabi. Does Nib stay out? What does Bobo do? If Nib stays out, does Bobo pit? If Nib pits, does Bobo stay out? That is the question. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, I couldn't even forecast this. It's it'd be interesting to see. You look again. You're in the car. You're starting to panic now at this stage. I don't know if I'm Nibs. What am I doing? Its track position is probably more key for Nibs. I could see the two of these staying out if I'm honest, but I don't know. 11 laps on the hards. They're probably not feeling the best, but they probably wouldn't be too bad if I'm honest. Gonna stick on with Nibs to see what he does. Nibs is in, so is Bobo. Yeah, it's probably logical from Bobo if I'm honest. Just do whatever Nibs does. You're not going to lose massively. Everybody is in. It's just a case of whether you go for soft or mediums at this point. Personally, I'd probably go medium. Bobo goes soft. As Gainful stays out. Oh, for fuck's sake. There we go. Clay, fire me an invite to comms. I will do, bud. Select players. Clay, invite sent, bud. Yeah, so safety car on lap 19 caused by whatever happened, Clay. Gainful has opted to stay out. He's on 12 lap all hards, and the guys behind are all on fresh tyres, which is going to cause its own issues. Captain Nibs on the mediums, Bobo on the softs. Interestingly enough, I thought mediums was the right call, but with the laps left, maybe softs isn't a bad call, as Clay has joined on comms.
Anywhere 7 to 11 laps out of the softs.
Yeah, I suppose it's probably Bobo just thinking, can I get past Captain Nibs? Again, as I've highlighted, Gainful being there on 12 lap all hards is not good. He's entitled to be there, no question, but the risk for something happening behind and having a big impact on the destination of this championship is...
Yeah, well, we saw it Friday night in Tier 2. You know, a late safety car mechanical opting to stay out and, you know, essentially taking the win on track. But the lads who pitted for the softs came flying. I think it was Jay Dennis dropped down to like 10th, 9th, something like that. On the softs, and then just fought his way back and ended up finishing P2.
Yeah, I actually remember a few seasons ago, I couldn't tell you when it was. It's actually the season we were in the Ferrari with Draftas. When was that? Was that season 6? Season 7?
Oh god.
Yeah.
I've drank since then, mate.
Whatever that season was, I was on the hard, safety car came out, and I just said, fuck it, I'm not going to be in this position again. I stayed out. Draftas and LOI Colin pitted behind me. Draftas held up Colin for as long as he could. Eventually he got through, and took the race win. But so sometimes, you know, Gainful's not in a bad position. Safety car potentially in the end of this lap. So yeah, I fully understand the tendency to stay out, or you, but the issues it can cause is an issue. But to be fair, 99 times out of 100, the guy that stays out doesn't cause the issue. It's the guy behind trying to force his way past is where the issue is caused.
This is the thing, is Gameful was going to lose more positions because his teammate pitted as well, so
yeah,
I can understand why he stayed out. You know, the hards, he's got no stress, they will go to the end. It's just he's going to be slower than every car behind him.
Yeah, especially with who's behind, like, you know, Nibs, Bobo, Harvey, Airways, Alloa, all on fresh tyres, regardless of whether they're soft or medium. If I was ahead of them on 13 lap old hairs, I'd be not happy. You know,
the time I'm ahead of them is when I'm getting that, mate.
Yeah, I suppose I don't know. I didn't see what position Gameful was in when he did it. So
no, I've just seen that his teammates pitted and just assuming he was behind.
Yeah.
So he'd have been double stacked. I might be wrong. He might have made the decision to stay out and then Curly took it. But
and the safety car is in this lap.
I know Steve did get double stacked.
Yeah, with 6 laps to go on 12 lap old hairs and the vast majority of the grid behind on fresh tyres, you know, maybe it's track dependent, difficult track to overtake on, so it definitely could be interesting to see how it plays out.
It will be obviously a title on the line. We've had some dramatic endings to races.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not over yet.
And he's not caught Bobo sleeping. He has caught Nibs. He hasn't caught Nibs sleeping. Harvey's actually looking at making a move on Bobo. Gainful using a lot of his battery there to try and stay ahead, and he does. Yeah, look, simple as this. Apologies to anyone behind, but with the Drivers' Championship in the balance, I'm going to have to run on with this front group for the remainder of the race and see what happens.
I'll keep an eye on anything else that's going on. I'll try to.
Yeah, Gainful absolutely rinsing his battery to try and try and maintain that gap ahead. Nibs is going to want to get past here fairly lively, but yeah. Ooh, Gainful going very deep. Nibs is through. Bobo gets the run as well.
Bobo's got wing damage.
Oh no! End plate damage for Bobo. That could be detrimental. He's not in a bad position. Airways, we know, has got pace as well. Richie as well. Oh, lad.
What is it? Nibs needs to win an Airway 8. Bobo
P5.
P6.
P5 for Bobo. Will give him the title, but he's now got end plate damage.
That's what I'm saying. He's got a lot of lads behind him that are quick on fresh tyres as well. 5 laps to go. Nibs is in the position he needs to be in, so it's all down to Bobo now, what Bobo can do, and he's struggling there into that final chicane. He's got Airways all over the back of him.
Oh man, this is not the way you want to see a title decided, but at the same time,
it's me, my teammate, it's me that caused the safety car there.
Yeah, well, obviously it wasn't intentional, but it's
no.
Bobo's still in a good position, but with Airways and Alloa Richie behind them, even if they overtake him, that drops him to P5. Gameful is going to hold up the cars behind, tyres behind, not as fresh. So
for me, it's whether hindsight can make some moves.
Oh wow, who just went straight off track? Nobody. I'm imagining it. Apologies, as you were. Oh, great to be back on comms. You should crash out more often.
It's been a while since we've done it. It's been a while.
Bobo's doing alright here, and Nibs now has broke the RS to Harvey, so Nibs doing everything he needs to do. You know what? Bobo doesn't look like he's been affected as much as I thought he would, if I'm honest.
He'll be quicker on the straights. He'll just struggle so much through like sector 1 and then that final chicane. I think that's where he's going to lose the most time.
Yeah, exactly. And look, end of the day, it's a potential podium for Airways, so he's not going to be hanging about. Richie all over the back of Airways as well. They need to get it done, but Bobo is hanging on to that DRS. but he's not hanging on to it. He has it quite well. Airways gets a better run. He's making a move into turn 1. Will he get it done? They're side by side. He should be close enough ahead, and that is Airways past. I know we got Oliver Ritchie to deal with. Gainful, luckily for Bobo, Gainful has dropped back quite a bit, and he's keeping the cars behind Anderson on the 8-lap all hard. He got to go back to Captain Hindsight then on the 4-lap all soft. So it's still very much in Bobo's favour.
I think is the only one that'll challenge. Oh, did I see some part of a car fly off? I think Oliver Ritchie's just hit the back of Bobo. He's got wing damage as well. I think he's missing an end plate. Gainful off track.
He is. Left
yeah,
end plate is gone.
Oh no! Gainful and Anderson making contact there. Gainful like snaking under the bridge though.
I have no idea. Gainful is ghosted and there's cars going through each other, so I'm not entirely sure what's happening there. But crucially for Nibs, Hindsight is up to P6. Does he take Oliver and does he have a crack off of Bobo then to try and help his teammate? He left. Captain Nibs left Hindsight through on the pit straight. The two Ferraris are fucking going at it here, lad. The tyres now for Gainful is where the issue is. We're going 3 wide through 130R. Never a good idea.
Almost 5 wide into the final corner. Wow, it's getting silly now.
Yeah,
it's getting silly.
That's scrappy.
Oliver's past Bobo
P5. Captain Hindsight has a couple of laps to do something for his teammate, but I feel personally he's just too far behind at this point.
I thought Hindsight would be the only one Oh, Marshall's dropping down.
This is insane. Right now, Clay, Bobo has taken the championship, finishing with the exact same amount of points as Captain Nibs, taking it on race wins. 5 race wins to Nibs' 4. This is mental stuff.
Is that including tonight's race win for Nibs? Yeah.
Oh shit! No, it's not. That'd be 5 apiece, and I didn't check my book. I didn't check the P2s. Oh lad. Oh lad, hold on. I'm sorry, no lads. I'm gonna have to check this. I can't. I'm gonna have to just commentate because I'm controlling the stream. This could, depending on the amount of P2s. I didn't check it. I don't know who has the more P2s or if it goes to P3. Yeah, Mental Airways might have a bit to say about this yet, though.
Yeah, he's gaining.
He's going to get the RS, so Nibs mightn't have the win. I didn't think about the potential of Nibs winning. Oh, lad.
He's not got the RS this time.
Yeah, right? Bobo's out of the RS now. There's 2 full laps left. I tell you what, Hindsight might have a bit to say about the destination of this title by the time we get to the end. Fastest lap for Airways, taken by Oliver Ritchie. Another 3 seconds for Anderson, unfortunately for him. Hindsight now at 2.1, and that gap is closing a lot.
Harvey's all over the back of the Airways. Harvey's all over the back of Airways, so he might.
The Airways. I tell you what, if Captain Nibs is within DRS by the end of this lap, P2, P1 mightn't matter. If he's in a position to attack Bobo into turn 1, or even by the time we get to the back straight, he's 2 seconds again. Bobo doing what he can. The wing damage is going to be horrendous to be dealing with, but he's doing alright. He's holding at the 2 second mark. I think he's going to be okay in that respect. I think Nibs is probably far enough ahead of Airways. It just comes down to P2s, which I haven't checked, so I don't know where we're going.
Yeah, Corey's checking it now.
Yeah, but look,
Airways is well in that DRS now though for the final lap.
Oh Jesus Christ! Hindsight down to 1.8, and he's going to squeeze it up a small bit. The only thing for Hindsight is he should catch him through sector 1 fairly quickly. Can Nibs stay ahead of Airways into turn 1? It's full battery at this point. They're level on P2s as well. Oh, for fuck's sake. Check P3.
You've got a fuel light flashing as well.
Nibs. Oh, no. And Airways is all over the back of him. Where's Hindsight?
We've had safety cars. How can he be low on fuel?
Hindsight 1.7. I don't think he's going to catch Bobo at this point, but As I said, Sector 1 is where he's going to get it. Airways is all over the back of Captain Nibs. Captain Nibs is recharging a small, but with a yellow flag. I don't have time to check who it is.
It's also
Yeah,
that's not important.
That's like the slipstream down the back straight. Captain, they're level on P3s. Jesus Christ. The only thing here is that this Airways isn't out of this yet. Nibs is struggling on them mediums. They're going to have the slipstream on the back straight. Huh? Oh, Airways has fastest lap.
Oh shit, what the fuck is that?
Airways getting a much better exit. This mightn't matter at all. Airways is extremely close. Captain Nibs is deploying. Airways has the slipstream, and this is the only thing I can run on with. For me, he's not close enough and won't be close enough to make a move. And Bovo takes Ottawa!
He has.
I hope that what position wasn't given.
Oh, that leaves a bit of a sour taste. Both of them having wing damage. They're almost side by side. Oliver looked like he was trying to fight back out of the final corner. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, that is provisionally...
Can't really binned it before the line.
Without incidents, that is Bobo as your champion. Nibs, Airways and Harvey. We'll get them into the chat.
I'm going to run for a beer.
Captain Airways, Captain Nibs. Oh. So yeah, confirmation there. Captain Nibs taking the win. Airways and Harvey making up the podium. Just need to grab race results and we'll get to the interviews once Clay comes back. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Look, I'll crack on there and Clay will be back in a second. Start with Harvey, P3. Kind of story of the season, Harvey. P3.
I know.
That seems to be your position. How did that race go for you?
Better than what it did on Friday, that's for sure. Yeah, no, it was good. I enjoyed it. Keeping up, but then got to the hards, and then Nibs and Bobo started pulling away towards the end. So yeah,
Yeah,
it was good.
it was a technical race. Trying to figure out that battle ahead going on, but you were always kind of teetering in and around that DRS. You just couldn't quite get there. Might have been different, but it's a hard one when you're pushing that ERS to try and get into the DRS, and they're charging, and all of a sudden, I find anyway personally, the more you push to get into it, the further away it goes.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
But I think what helped was obviously the back markers, or the people who didn't pit. So I was going to say back markers, people who didn't pit
yeah,
after the safety car. That's what helped. I think I got past Bobo and Hindsight, I think, down Main Street.
yeah,
So that helped.
yeah, for sure.
But
Yeah, look, kind of story of the season for you. P3, another podium. Not in a bad position in the driver standings. Who knows with potential incidents ahead or behind or whatever. But yeah, good season from you. I think you're straight out. You're my most improved driver, no question. So yeah,
appreciate that.
um, good job, and another podium in the bag.
Exactly.
Uh, we'll move on to. Oh, sorry, Clay. Do you have anything to add?
Cheers, guys.
No, mate.
GG's.
No, mate. I'm happy to be here.
Move on to Airways. Similar story, Airways. Qualified well, dropped 116 positions, lap one, and fight your way back to P2. It's what you do. You should actually try and start from the back. I guarantee you'd win. I did. I didn't see exactly what happened, but I believe, did you lose the car yourself? Yeah. I if Yeah, from what I could see, you lost it. But look, obviously you qualified well. Did you start P4, P3, wherever? It was high up anyway. Yeah, okay, yeah, front row. Yeah, did well, got a good start. Bo just kept his nose ahead. You've had that spin. You've dropped way down the grid, as you do. You fight your way back to P2. Um, how, other than the spin, but how did you feel that went for you? You Yeah, for sure. But you do this race after race. So as I said during commentary, and obviously everything I say is with respect. There's nothing bad meant by anything, but you do have this tendency of qualifying, front row, second row, and lap one, early lap one in particular, ending up losing 10 to 15 positions through sometimes it's your own fault, sometimes it's not your own fault, but your ability to recover and reset your mental capacity and get the head down and move through the field again, and also not get involved in incidents. It's incredible. I don't know how you do it. It's a weekly thing. Um, must be frustrating because you'd be thinking to yourself, if this didn't happen that one, I could get out ahead, and the theory of how much ground you've made back up, you could be winning the race by 30 seconds. But yeah, it's a great ability to be able to come back through the field. Is it difficult to reset the mindset after things like this? Apparently, you can't be heard on live. So yeah, I don't know if it's everyone or you are, but the sharing is definitely on. But yeah, look, P2 finished seeding with a podium. Great recovery drive again. So well done to you. Captain Nibs, we'll move on to you. Heartbreak on the last lap. Oliver Ritchie, Bobo getting past Ritchie. He was in P5. You had it. You had the championship, I'm going to say, on P4s at this stage. I Chloe counting in my ear the last two laps. Obviously, we've incidents and whatnot, but right now it's Bobo's provisionally the champion. How does that feel? You did everything you needed to do. You had to win the race and see what happens behind. But to lose it, potentially subject to incidents, sector 3 on the last lap, that has to be gutting.
Yeah, it's to be fair, it is what it is. We got close. The whole season's been bloody excellent. So I want to just congratulations to Bobo for the win. If it works, it's pretty much his to take. To be fair, and one other thing I do want to say, that wasn't an overtake that I went for
Yeah,
when I
I
went
do that.
nearly took 3 cars out. I had really cold tyres and I just missed my braking point. I had like a double toe off of the cars in front. I had an insane amount of top speed going into that corner, and I just missed my braking point completely.
Yeah,
So I do apologise.
that's what it looked like. Fortunately for you, it's
Potentially.
Anderson you hit, and he tends not to record, so you should be okay.
Yeah,
Nah,
I gave the
fuck
places
Anderson.
back as quickly as I could.
Yeah,
I'll
look,
tell you, I'll
as
tell you what, the one thing I want to add is you've been saying yourself, Nibs, for numerous weeks now that, that's it, the title race is over, it's done, it's Bobo's. You've took it right down to the final race, and you've took it to the final lap of the final race. Was that, a bit of mind games, just trying to relieve a bit of pressure off yourself, or did you think it were done and it's just turned around, unexpectedly?
Pretty much that, to be fair. It was Bobo's to lose, to be honest. And I knew that as soon as, even if I got into first place and I kept Bobo behind me, it was just, I was going to lose the championship. So I just needed to sort of drive and not get too panicky with him behind me and just drive my own race rather than trying to outdrive him every lap and trying to
Focus on him,
outperform
yeah.
him. Yeah, if he got
Yeah.
near me and went past me, I was just going to let him go, to be honest, and hope that he spun it at one of the corners at some point, or had a safety car that let me get past, and it it just sort of sat here and got on with it really. Tried
Well,
to
that's it. He
make the
got he
best of
got
the bad
caught up
situation.
after that final safety car. He got caught up. I think he hit the back of Gameful after you got past him.
Yeah, he
Um,
looked up going into, I don't know what corner it was, but that one.
it was that hairpin. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a horrible corner to sort of brake on because you sort of start braking as you're turning, and it just unloads that front left, and it's horrible. You don't turn. So I managed to sneak past him, and then Bobo obviously didn't and got caught in it, which I was very happy about, but at the same time I was kind of gutted about because always respectful racing with Bobo, so, and he's a good chap, and he deserved the win, to be fair. But I didn't want to make
yeah,
it
look,
easy.
as I said, fucking. Oh, sorry. Um, with
Put an 18 plus registration on this car.
yeah, it's tier 3. It happens so often. Like, to be fair, the race was pretty mundane. I know there was slower guys ahead that needed to pit, laddie da. Bo was always on the podium, net.
Yeah,
He was net on the podium all the time. You were doing what you needed to do. And all of a sudden there's wing damage. Bobo tags the car ahead. He doesn't have an in plate. And all of a sudden it goes from a mundane race to a insane race with 3 laps to
yeah.
go. So much that we're counting back down as far as fecking P4 from previous races to see who takes it on a split decision. And
Yeah, I was
unfortunately for
listening to
you,
the stream.
yeah, unfortunately for you, the Oliver Ritchie or Bobo got past Oliver Ritchie in sector 3 on the last lap, and at the end of the day, the points don't lie; they are where they are. But yeah, it's been a great season again.
It
Really
does
enjoyed the
help
battle.
having friends on the grid, to be fair, because I mean I know Richie's a friend of Bobo's, so and Airways is a friend of mine, and he had two laps. He could have overtaken me because on the last sector, pretty much, I had no fuel left, and it was only because you mentioned it in the stream that I looked at my fuel.
Oh
I
shit!
literally, yeah.
I could have cost my teammate that.
If I hadn't have looked, I could have run out of fuel ages ago. I literally started saving fuel, and I started panicking. But Airways didn't sort of overtake me, so I'm extremely grateful for that. But then obviously Bobo's mates with Richie, so I'm going to assume they let each other pass, which is fair enough.
Look,
I've asked the question.
I'm going to be.
Obviously, he's a teammate of mine. I've spoke to
It
him. I've
makes
asked
me
the
feel better.
question. He said he's not in comms with him. He has no idea. He said it looks like he's given the position, but they've not talked about it.
Yeah, no, of course. It just makes me feel better. That's literally.
Look, the only
I
comment
don't
I'm gonna
like it. I'm not happy about it.
the only comment I'm gonna make on that is when you drive for a constructor, it doesn't matter who you're friends with or who you like in the league. It's absolutely
And
irrelevant.
in hindsight, my teammate as well. Thank you for letting me pass.
Yeah, I was going to say that. You know
If you
what?
could, that was.
At one point, I was like, "Is he
We'd
going to do it or
spoken.
not?"
We had spoken in the chat and sort of tried to sort of offset our strategies and stuff to make sure we didn't double stack, to make sure we didn't hold each other up and stuff like that. So when I was behind him, I kind of knew that he would let me pass because we'd sort of spoken about it before. And I did try and give him DRS, but Bobo's just so bloody quick. When he's behind you, I don't know, it makes you feel different.
Yeah, can fully understand that.
No, he's
Anyway,
going to
look,
overtake you.
regardless, it's been a great season.
Oh, yes.
For us with a couple of laps to go, looking down at how many P1s and 2s and 3s and 4s people have taken to split a championship, it's it's exactly what we strive for in CDR, entertainment right to the end.
Did say we'll give you a show, so well done,
Exactly.
Butler.
So look, again, who knows with incidents, he could have got caught up in stuff. We don't know. He's provisional champion, but it's not confirmed until the stewarding process has been completed. In terms of yourself personally, you did what you needed to do. You finished P1, you won the race. It is what it is. After that, we know you
Yeah.
can't do no more than that.
Nope.
So yeah, that is a wrap for season 11 in its entirety. Obviously, the Tier 3 Championship will be announced in due course. We got a couple of weeks break now. Season 12 starting again on the 25th of October. So most albums will probably take a break, but there'll be a few sessions floating around, things like that. All details around tiers and driver drawing details and dates and times will be announced in due course. Thanks everyone for joining in. Thanks to Claire for jumping on for the last couple of laps. And yeah, that's it. Anything to add, Claire?
No, mate. Just want to say thank you to yourself, Lutman, Colby, Kieran, everyone who's jumped on comms this season for Tier 3. It's been great to listen to.
Give yourself a round of applause.
Yeah, thanks to all the drivers as well. Been really entertaining season. Yeah, just a thank you to the admins, all the drivers in the league. To be honest, it's been a great season, and I've just won my 4th constructors title. So 10 points, I've contributed.
Well, if it wasn't, I don't think. If it wasn't for those 10 points, it might be 10 points clear. I don't know. Don't know how many points clear we are of you.
I'm
think
hoping
we would
it's them
second.
10 points. I'm hoping it's them 10 points because yeah, Wickham missed the last race and I gave him an earful. So I'm hoping them 10 points won it for us. But yeah, it's been a great season. Obviously new to me driving in Tier 3, not doing comms on it, but I've enjoyed it. Yeah, as I say, thank you to everyone who's tuned in. Thank you to everyone who's been involved and helped make it the season it is.
Lovely. So yeah, ciao. We will talk to everyone for season 12.
Ciao, Pete.
See you then.
So